Andrew, you know what is always exciting for me? You know what is never boring to me? You know what always pumps me up?
Is it?
It's when we have great clients who are implementing the proven system. It's fun to see it because when you have a business and you don't know what to do, it can be very frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also frustrating as a business consultant when you teach people the proven plan and they simply don't want to implement the program. Which is why I've always been doing this month to month, because if somebody will not implement the plan, I just let them know, hey, if you don't implement the plan, it's probably not a good fit.
Not a good fit.
But on today's show, we are joined with a couple who has been diligently implementing the systems. These guys are growing their business by over 500%. And now, without any further ado, it is now time for yet another edition of...
Wins of the Week!
Oh, yeah!
Andrew, put some shrimp on the barbie!
Whoa!
Unbelievable! Andrew, get some below!
You can do it!
Get out the pinata!
21
Andrew, these people are ruining their business!
Impressive. You smell like a winner.
Andrew, you do smell like a winner. Unbelievable, Andrew. You do smell like a winner.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Wow. Hey, Wes, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, Mr. Wes McPherson?
Good. How are you, Clay?
Brother, I'm fired up about your growth. Fired up about your growth. I'm getting excited, Andrew. I'm getting excited.
Just can't hide it.
Wes, how did you first hear about us, brother?
So I literally just Googled. I was looking for some business podcasts just to get some insight, and you guys popped up, and I started listening to it. And I don't know, within about 2 days, I think I listened to probably 20 podcasts. And I just actually reached out to get the book for the internet or the website stuff. And, yeah, Julia reached back out to me, and we ended up working together.
What's the name of your company, my friend?
Organized Storage Solutions.
And where are you guys based?
So we are based out of Roseville, California, and we actually just opened a second location in Reno, Nevada.
And so you guys are having growth, and so many people, when they hear about you guys having the 566% growth, Andrew, it's almost like their creativity stops, and they stop to believe it could happen for them because they think, oh, this guy Wes must be a freaking genius.
Yeah.
And again, I never want to be a backhanded complimenter, but Wes, you are very normal. Like, you come across as a normal, good dude. You come across as a high-integrity guy. Both you and your wife are great people. What would you say to somebody listening out there that's maybe thinking about coming to a conference, but they've been putting it off because they're going, I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. This Wes guy sounds incredible. What would you say to somebody who's thinking about reaching out or attending a conference but has been putting it off because they're maybe thinking that they don't have what it takes?
I would definitely do it. And here's why. Like, when I first started talking with you, Clay, that first initial conversation, a lot of the times people are, I was one of them thinking, can I afford this? And then in the back of my mind, I'm going, how can I not afford this? Like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? My business is going to grow. We're going to make a bunch of money, and we're going to be a lot happier, right? Other than struggling day to day, just trying to make something happen on our own.
I find that a lot of people find it unbelievable that we only work with 160 clients, and then I actually do interface with each and every one of my clients whenever they have a need for a personal call. You and I have hopped on calls before. I know we've done calls. I'm not going to ask you to share what those calls have been about, but could you maybe share about my accessibility for you as a client?
Yeah, it's very accessible. I can, if I am just completely struggling, usually Julia can help me. And typically, though, she's like, hey, I'm going to have Clay call you. It's perfect. And you call me within probably 6 to 7 hours, I hear from you. And that's probably worst case scenario, to be honest with you.
And that's why I only take on 160 clients because, I've been doing this since 2006, 2005. And it's just every business matters. Andrew, you know that. Every client matters.
Yeah.
And
yeah, they all have a business.
When you guys have a question, I'm thinking I got to be able to call this guy back. And Andrew, you know this. I've had my phone off because we've been on our Project Save America right now. We're interviewing so many, and we're interviewing, governors, lieutenant governors. We're interviewing decision makers, county commissioners, elected officials, Roger Stone, who President Trump just pardoned. We're interviewing all these people right now to try to get the truth out there to the American people. And we've been in the studio for about 6 hours here, and I bet you I've missed, 40 calls or text messages,
or more,
and I'll return all those calls. And I'm honored to do it. But Wes, explain specifically what the conference has meant for you and your wife, Kelly.
Yeah. So, I mean, the conference was great to actually get to meet you guys and make sure that you're real people, right? Not just robots trying to tell us what to do. But it really just, it's so simple that you guys break it down so simple that anyone can understand it. And just working with you guys has helped us just by having somebody push us along, right? So, like, even though you need to be doing something, you're like extra marketing when COVID hits, right? You're like, should we be doing this? And you guys are like, yes, do it. And it's turned out to be great.
So I want to brag on you guys for a few specific things, and I'd like for you to be able to share any more details if you'd like. You guys are doing the checklists. You know, I think Kelly specifically is really killing the checklist game. Your wife, she's doing the systems. So many people fight back about checklists. It's weird. I mean, some people just like, I hate the checklist. But some people just for some reason want to fly by the seat of their pants. I mean, your wife is just the queen of checklists. Talk to me about how checklists have helped you grow your company.
They've been great because it takes the thinking out of it. You literally have everything that you need on a piece of paper, and the guys just check it off as they load it into the trucks. There's no thinking of, oh, did I forget this? Did I miss this? Did I do this? Well, if it's checked off, you got it. You should be good. So it actually saves time. It saves people having to come back and forth from the warehouse back to the job sites because they already have everything because it's checked off. And if they are coming back and forth, it gives us a reason to ask them, hey, why are you doing this? All the checklists are checked off. Why, oh, you didn't do the checklist properly. Gotcha. But I think my wife knocked out about 20 of them.
Oh, she did. Power. Wes, what's your last name? McPherson. Now, again, your website for people out there that want to look at your website to verify you're real people. What's your website?
It's Organized Storage Solutions Inc.com.
Organized Storage Solutions Inc.com. Now, folks, I want to make sure you get this if you're listening right now and you're going, what are they doing? How are they growing by this much? There's a lot into the system. I mean, it's like a 15-page business plan I make for every client. So I don't have time to get into all of it here, but I just want to build for you to see a little bit of the detail. You guys, this is what I love about you guys. You know this and I know this, but the listeners probably don't know this. Optimizing a website requires that the client implements Google's canonical compliance system. If you want to be top in Google, Andrew, there's 4 variables that get you to the top of the Google search results. And that would be canonical compliance.
Yep.
That would be
mobile compliance.
That would be...
You've got to have the most original HTML content.
Yes, and that would be...
Yeah, you got to have the most Google reviews.
Right, and so sometimes you have to make compromises. And maybe compromise the way the website looks. Maybe you want it to look a certain way, but to rank higher, you have to compromise and maybe make it look a little differently than what you want to. But we're not doing it because we are choosing to do it. It's not like we want to design your website to look a certain way.
Right.
It's Google wants your website to work a certain way in order to rank in the search engines. Wes, you have diligently implemented the systems. Can you explain what it's been like to work with our web team?
It's been awesome. It's been easy. They're literally on it. As soon as you need something done, it's literally changed within their time frame that they give you.
Yeah.
And it's been, great. It's helped our business. So
the group interview. Let's talk about the group interview for a second. So many people say, I can't find good people. Now, we have entire shows, and if you're in the coaching program, we'll break down all the systems on how specifically to run the group interview, the checklist you need, the onboarding documents, the hiring paperwork, the legal stuff, all that. But what kind of impact has the group interview hiring process made for your company?
Oh, it's awesome because you're not running around trying to meet all these different people's schedules. You just give them a time, tell them when to show up, and if they show up, they're interested. If they don't, you're not wasting your time with a bunch of people that aren't really interested.
There it is. Folks, if you're out there saying you can't find good people, the group interview system, if you implement it, it will help you to find good people. Final question I have here for you. Somebody out there is thinking about reaching out to us, and they know it's month to month. They probably listened to a lot of testimonials. I think at this point, Andrew, before this call, John was telling me, we have over 1,000 success stories?
Yeah, there's so many.
There's so many. But somebody's going, well, I I don't know. I mean, I just, and then you say you're going to do a 13-point assessment, but will I actually do it with the 13-point assessment with me specifically? Could you explain what that initial conversation was like with our team and then with myself there, Wes?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we talked to Julia initially, and, she kind of explained everything to us, went over it. And again, like I had said, I didn't know if I could afford it at first, but then in the back of my mind, I was just like, how can I afford not to do this? I could only imagine, just talking with you, and then Clay called me after Julia talked to me, and we went over the 13-point assessment, and you kind of just went over some goals with us, what we wanted to hit, and you did an outline based on that. And I'm going to say 10 months in, we're pretty gosh darn close to hitting our goal that we had for an 18-month view.
Brother, I am proud of you, and I'm saying this not so much prophetically as it is just mathematical certainty. You're going to have massive success. You're going to have massive success. And the only thing that can really screw it up at this point is your governor. Governor
right.
Newsom, Adolf Newsom. There, I believe is the name of your governor.
That is it.
I mean, seriously, am I exaggerating the jackassery of your Thanksgiving canceling governor?
You are not. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
True jackassery. But I appreciate you guys pushing through, because you know what? A lot of people say, I can't grow my business because of this 2020 craziness, but you did not let that be an excuse. You focused on what you could do. You did not let what you could not control keep you from doing what you could control. And that right there is a powerful teaching moment. You didn't let the things you couldn't control stop you from doing the things that you could control. And that is a powerful lesson for the listeners out there. Wes and Kelly, thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of the Thrive Time Show.
Yeah, thank you for having us, Clay. We appreciate it.
Yeah, one more time. What's your website address, and what do you do?
So it is www.organizedstoragesolutionsinc.com, and we do garage enhancement. So we do epoxy floors, garage cabinets, overhead racks, shelving systems, and we make your garage a place that you want to go to instead of avoid.
I tell you what, brother, you are an absolute dream client. It's been an honor to serve you guys. I cannot wait to see you soon, maybe at another conference here in the not-so-distant future, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
Hey, you too. Thank you very much, Clay.
Take care, brother. Bye. And now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom!
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah. So here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. we actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months, or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985. I established my practice here in Tulsa in 1985.
One of the things that I hear in my world a lot as a business consultant from business owners is they will tell me, Clay, I want you to help me, but my industry is different. And so on today's show, I'm going to introduce you to a wonderful client who's a pediatric dentist. And I also am going to introduce you to a wonderful client who's a real estate agent. And I'm also going to introduce you to a wonderful client who does mortgages, and a wonderful client who's a family doctor, and a wonderful client who trains dogs, and a wonderful client who runs the UPS stores for all of Canada. Then I'll introduce you to a wonderful client who has a massive real estate empire, real estate franchise empire. Then I'm going to introduce you to a wonderful client that sells new homes. Then I'm going to introduce you to a wonderful client who sells insurance, and then a wonderful client who runs a church, and a wonderful client who the wonderful client who sells insurance. I think I mentioned that. A wonderful client that has a research lab. And at the end of the day, you'll discover that if you will follow the proven systems that I will teach you at our in-person workshops or through our one-on-one coaching program, it's like bumper bowling for business. It's like if you're tired of throwing gutter balls and you want to have success, this system will absolutely change your life. It's a step-by-step system. It's a linear workflow. It's going to absolutely change your life. And without any further ado, here is Dr. Morrow sharing about how this system has changed his life. and his business's life and the lives of his employees and the growth of his pediatric dentistry. So here we go.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country, where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building it into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy. Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant, and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal, and they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down, because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company, or navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns, because our clubs were all closed for 3 months, and you have $350,000 of bills you got to pay, and we have no accounts receivable. He helped us navigate that, and of course we were conservative enough that we could afford to take that on for a period of time. But it was anyways, great man. I'm very impressed with him. So Clay, thank you for everything you're doing, and I encourage you, if you haven't ever worked with Clay, work with Clay. He's going to help magnify you, and there's nobody I have ever met that has the ability to work as hard as he does. He probably sleeps 4, maybe 6 hours a day, and literally the rest of the time he's working, and he can outwork everybody in the room every single day, and he loves it. So anyways, this is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Thank you, Clay, and anybody out there that's wanting to work with Clay, it's a great opportunity to ever work with him. So you guys have a blessed one. This is Charles Kolaw. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, we got you.
So I can close my phone down.
Yep, let's close the phone down. Okay, you got it?
Okay, I got it. There we go.
May the interrogation begin. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and Well, I know that many of you may consider coming to one of our in-person workshops or becoming a one-on-one business coaching client. But before you decide to take action and to invest the time in doing a free 13-point assessment with me or investing the time to come to one of our in-person workshops, I thought you should hear directly from one of our longtime clients who's had a lot of success so he can share with you about his experience. So without any further ado, Charles Ulrich, welcome onto the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
So, Charles, I got to ask you, how did you originally hear about the business coaching services that I provide, sir?
I was listening to podcasts on iHeartRadio on my 3.5-hour commute back and forth to my business in another state.
And so people can prove that your business is real. What's the name of your company, or what's the website people can go to learn more about it?
CannonPumps.com.
CannonPumps.com. And what kind of services and products do you provide?
We provide a specialized slick line concrete pumping service along the Wasatch Front and Southeast Idaho, and have for a lot of years.
And so when you reached out to us, were you looking to grow the business, or what had you initially decide to reach out about the attending a conference or the in-person or the one-on-one business coaching?
I had just hit a brick wall. I had lost key people. It was back down to just me after years, and I did not know what to do with my business and was struggling to put the skill set together and the desire to grow it and do anything else with it. And so I was just looking for some answers.
And from the time that you reached out and scheduled that 13-point assessment to now, how much have you grown, sir?
At least 200%, probably.
Wow. So you're saying your company has doubled in size?
Yes, at least.
At least, you think maybe more than doubled, or?
Yes.
Now, when we do a weekly call with you, we like to cover the core, repeatable, actionable processes. The reason why Dr. Robert Zellner and I have a lot of success in business is that we're both rigorous and very disciplined about following proven systems. And so a big key component, I would say the key component of what we do, is we have a weekly call that's designed to provide you with practical operational help for your business. How do those weekly calls help you steer the ship?
They make me focus on my business, and they help me to remember the fundamentals. We're always being asked, what about this fundamental? What about this fundamental? How is this problem being resolved? How is this problem being resolved? And over time, you look forward to the meeting because it forces you to resolve any issues you have and work through them with proven solutions.
Yep, because it forces you to push through those problems and achieve success. I love it. Now, I got to ask you this: how do the weekly calls? How have they helped you with your sales process?
Well, a lot. We run our business for 25 years on our original Dream 100, and we didn't have much more than that, so we were very limited. And so one of the first things we did was, of course, Google and the reviews. And now our schedule is full of non-regular customers. I don't have a set of 6 customers dictating my whole business. I have a set of 150 customers dictating my business.
Now, again, if you were to take those calls out of your life and not have those weekly meetings, what do you think would happen to the level of success that you've achieved? Because, behind the scenes, we're optimizing the website, we're running your ads, we're making sure we're tracking all the numbers. What would happen if you took the calls out, you think?
Man, it would just be a slow implosion. Not really even that slow. It would just be, there's just so much ground covered in that you can't, it would be hard for me as a business owner and involved in the business, it would be hard for me to replace that, even with people, time, money. The resources would be just hard to grasp, let alone implement it and be able to do a working system to have somebody do any of it.
Now, Dr. Robert Zellner and I in our companies, what we like to do is we like to keep our meetings as short as possible, meaning we want to cover what we need to cover, and then we want to get back to business, probably in the way that you like to pump concrete as quickly as possible and then move on to something else. And I think a lot of people maybe don't quite understand that idea. Again, we block out an hour every week for that meeting, but it doesn't need to take an hour. Can you maybe explain why it's important to have that meeting, regardless of whether it takes an hour or 20 minutes or whatever the time length is?
It helps you keep us focused on the core fundamentals of what we're doing. If we don't have that, pretty soon we're going sideways and we're worried about things that don't matter as much. You've identified the things that we need to focus on, and that meeting, no matter how long it is, helps bring us back and forces us to look at those numbers, our revenue numbers, our reviews numbers, our leads numbers. Are we converting? All of that stuff, it forces us to look at the information that nobody wants to look at on their own.
Now, within our coaching program, we only work with 160 clients. And so, sometimes you might work, if you're a listener out there, you might work with me. I work with 15 clients. You might work with Carter. You might work with Devin. You might work with Andrew. You might have worked with Marshall. You might have worked with Eric. You might have worked with, there's so many wonderful people that we've had a chance to mentor over the years. And inevitably the question gets asked, well, how could your coach possibly help me if he's not a concrete expert? I want to ask you, how have the coaching calls helped you with your interviewing process and to know what to look for in a job applicant, even though your particular coach, Andrew, is not a concrete quote unquote expert?
Just because you're an expert in concrete doesn't mean you're a business owner. So Andrew brings a vast knowledge of all his other clients, and so can answer a lot of questions about what we need to do employee-wise that I would really have no other answer to. And from that, even though he's not a concrete guy, he knows more about business than probably 98% of all of my clients who are concrete guys.
Now, how have the coaching calls helped you with the hiring process in terms of learning how to run and launch your Indeed ads? Because I see a lot of business owners that struggle to recruit people. How has that, the coaching calls and the coaching program, helped you to effectively learn how to launch and run Indeed ads or the entire hiring process, really?
One of the biggest things about getting going is just the fear of starting. Once you start, if you have little questions or things, you have a resource to go to answer those unknowns. So instead of being afraid of them, you can just say, okay, I'm going to do this. And they just help you with the little details over top of it.
Now, how have the coaching calls helped you with managing your staff? I know, we manage internally, we manage hundreds of employees, but then our clients themselves, some clients I work with manage hundreds of employees, and some clients I work with manage 15 employees. Some manage dozens of employees. How have the weekly coaching calls helped you to learn how to effectively manage your team?
The coaching calls help ground you in the business principles, take a lot of the emotion out of it. Most situations with employees is cut and dry and wrong or right. As employers, we get emotionally involved and are afraid to do that. But when you hear somebody like Andrew as my coach tell me, no, this is what needs to happen, it's like, okay, this is what needs to happen, because he has seen it how many ever times with all his other clients.
Now, working with Andrew, we want to help you create systems. Our coaching program, we want to help you make systems so that everything is documented, and over time making checklists and processes for everything. So that way, as your business scales, hypothetically, it's more systemized over time. How has working with our team helped you to build systems?
Well, one of the things that we learned is remove yourself from the business and see how well it functions without you. So it seems like every time I break my leg, my business goes without me, and it seems to function pretty well. So it helps everybody in the business be able to know what to do when nobody's looking over their shoulder.
Now, a part of the coaching process is it's that core repetitive, core repeatable, actionable processes. I call it the crap, but it's the messy middle. It's after the big new idea, the excitement about the new idea is gone. Somebody still has to follow up and do the core repeatable, actionable processes. How has that helped you on a weekly basis stay on track? Those core repeatable, actionable processes, after the excitement of the new ideas are gone.
Well, through the meetings helps me to realize that I am accountable to somebody. I answer to somebody. And so I go to my team and I hold them accountable so that I can make sure all of these things are done. So it just helps me to stay on top of making sure people are doing what they're doing instead of having to go in and take care of everything myself.
Okay, next question I have here for you. The coaching calls, a lot of our listeners, a lot of our longtime clients, if people go to thrivetimeshow.com, they can see thousands of customer success stories. A lot of my clients will tell me that they learned a lot about time management in the coaching program. I have one client right now. I've helped him to grow his business dramatically. He's on the verge of selling the company, and he says, "Hey, I'm going to keep hiring you as I look for my new business because I need someone to help me maximize my time and to stay efficient, even as I move into my new venture," even after he sells his company. Can you talk about time management and how the coaching calls have helped you with time management?
Well, this is one of my great struggles is the time management. And so I try and work on it more and more. And so by being able to have access to my coach, it helps me to formulate a plan and be able to keep my meetings and time management focused on what I need to do and not what other people want me to do.
How has the coaching calls helped you with your search engine optimization and generating more leads? I meet a lot of wonderful people that tell me, Clay, I would hire you guys for the coaching service if it didn't have the search engine optimization and the web development and the graphic design and the photography and all those services. But specifically, it's a flat rate. We charge $1,700 a month. It's all included. How much has that helped you in terms of growing your business with our in-house search engine optimization, web marketing, online ad management team?
100%. People find us now. When I met you, I didn't even have a website. And the first thing you said was, we have to do Google. I just sighed. It was so distant to me. And now I can't even imagine running this without what your team does for us in the back room.
Now, what's kind of interesting about our relationship, and it's been fun, is I co-founded Tip Top Canine Franchising. It's a dog training franchise. One of my longtime clients, Ryan and Rachel, started the company tiptopcanine.com, and I helped them to scale the business so that way it could franchise. So other people who are not Ryan and Rachel could go out there and buy a proven business model that works. And you guys elected to open up a Tip Top Canine right there in Utah. Your family, you and your whole family opened up a Tip Top Canine franchise together. How big of a role did you, having previously worked with our coaching program, how big of an impact, I guess, or how much of a decision, how much did that weigh into your decision to buy a Tip Top, knowing that we would be implementing the same systems that we've been implementing in your own company?
It was probably the biggest factor because it helped us to understand from the beginning, we're implementing all of the business principles in our concrete pumping. So when we were exposed to Tip Top, we already understand a lot of the policies and practices, which makes it easy to go in. So we could hit the ground running at full speed because everybody on our team already knew what the Dream 100 was, what the Google was, why reviews are important, why search engine optimization, all of that. And it was a huge part of of why we decided to do that, because we want to use that as a platform to even get more tip tops. And we feel that through your systems with that tip top would provide us that opportunity.
You know, my father, he had Lou Gehrig's disease, may he rest in peace. And before he passed away, though, my wife and I, we organized kind of a going away party for him so that all the people in his life that mattered to him could all come and say nice things about him while he was still alive. And my dad told me that was like the highlight for him, was hearing that. And I know a guy like Andrew, you know, he's a very diligent guy. He stays focused every day on growing your business. Every single morning we meet at 6 a.m. in our coaches meeting to go over any burning fires or any issues or any areas how we can help. If we ever have a business owner that's stuck, whether it be the tip-top canine franchises that we coach or whether it be our non-tip-top canine franchises or businesses that we work with. And I know he's committed to helping you grow your business. What would you say about the impact that Andrew himself has made as a result of him teaching you the systems and holding you guys accountable on a weekly basis?
Oh, Andrew's been great. You know, there's a big age disparity between Andrew and I, but he's never been afraid to, if there's something, he finds out if we don't know. But the other thing, he's been a great example to my kids, that all my kids work in my business by their choice, that you don't have to be an old stodgy guy like me to understand business principles. They're the same. And so his influence on me and my organization is generational, literally.
So just to be clear, I mean, knowing that the business systems that we had in place, working with you with your Cannon Pumps business, those principles, you knowing that those principles and systems would be used at Tip Top Canine, that was a big motivating factor for you.
Yes, huge. Probably the biggest factor.
And what would you, again, I talk to people all the time, and I'm not bashing other franchises, but I talk to people all the time that come to our conferences, and you've been to our conferences, and people will come to me and they go, man, I bought a franchise of this company or that company where there's no weekly coaching. You know, you come, they train you on how to do the skill or how to buy the business, and then they go back to their local hometown and they feel like they're just floundering, and they have like a monthly call where somebody checks in with you, but there's no weekly accountability. What do you think would happen to your Tip Top location if there wasn't Andrew or somebody like that pushing you guys on a weekly basis to grow?
It would go sideways quick. We'd be doing the wrong things at the wrong time for the wrong reasons. And because it would be more emotion-based. And our phone call with Andrew, it keeps focused on the things that we need to accomplish to make it a franchise, so that I'm not a business owner that wakes up every day and has to go in and deal with it.
Final question I have here for you. For anybody out there that's thinking about attending one of our in-person workshops or scheduling a 13-point assessment, I don't want to waste anybody's time because I only take on 160 clients, and I don't want to waste anybody's time because our conferences only can accommodate 100 folks at each one, and we want to make it very interactive. In your mind, what kind of person would benefit from our one-on-one coaching or the in-person workshops?
Somebody that has a business that wants to get to the next level, not sure what to do. Just for ideas alone, your workshop has so many things that you can implement into every level of the business and at least get your brain working towards being a business owner instead of the high paid employee you are.
Well, brother, I really do appreciate you hopping on the show here. Hopefully, we've benefited you greatly, and it's been awesome to get to know you over the years. And I wish you continued success. Thank you for carving out time for us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Okay,
bye.
See ya.
The Thrive Time Show, 2-day interactive business workshops, are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.